Well, that kind of sucked. Sorry, you guys. My husband needed me for something, and he doesn't normally call more than once. So when he calls 3 or 4 times, darn. All right. Well, hopefully you'll watch the rerun. I probably lost a few of you. I am adding a little bit of water to the base of the pan because it got a little bit sticky while I was on the phone, and Bo needed me. So thanks for coming back, Mulaney. Thanks, Barry. Sorry, guys. So the beans, let me show you, they pretty much look cooked. I added about another, maybe a tiny bit of water on the bottom. That is not, that's not chicken broth again. That is just regular water. So now I'm adding in the carrots. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming back. Sorry about the little bit of a mess up a minute ago, but hey, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. It's my family and they needed me. So, Facebook Live sometimes has to wait when the husband calls. Here's my organic tamari. It's gluten-free. This is actually a gluten-free dish all night long for those of you who are GF. It's really healthy and it's non-dairy as well. So what am I doing? I'm literally like just sprinkling soy sauce on top to kind of cover the vegetables. I already did that half a little bit. And I'm literally just kind of sprinkling it everywhere to give it a little flavor. Filipinos love soy sauce. I don't know anybody that doesn't love soy sauce. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for coming back. Hi, Aunt Lizard. Hope you're doing good. Hope everybody's staying healthy. Alrighty. Woo. Just flopping my hair around a little bit. I'm just kidding. I'm going to shut the rice off now and just leave it. And I'm going to turn the fire back up. So for those of you who just joined and we're on the last one, I added the carrots. I added a little bit of water before I added the carrots because the pan got a little bit hot. And the green beans are almost pretty much done. I added some soy sauce, so it's kind of got a brown color to it now because of the soy sauce mixed with the flavors and the chicken broth on the bottom of the pan. The rice is doing really well. I shut it off. I can tell that it's pretty much almost done and it doesn't hurt for it to be in there for a little bit longer. So remember, normally this would have beef in it and onions, and right now it doesn't, but that's okay. And then I think what we have left now to add is the beef. I'm going to turn up the heat. Any questions? Did I skip anything? Is it kind of confusing because we just had that cut off in midway, but it was kind of, if it was going to happen at any time, it was a good time for it to happen. So, yep, that's it. We're going to do onions. The ground beef is going to go in next, even though normally that would be in first. And then I've got the carrots and the green beans. We'll put all those together. If you are wondering, okay, I'm going to take this moment while the carrots are cooking. If you're wondering how I wrap the lumpias, I don't have the actual wrappers here. Those would have a tiny bit of gluten in them. They have flour, water, and salt, but no dairy. So if you are dairy free, that is great for you. If you are dairy free, then don't follow the egg portion of this conversation that I'm about to share with you. But if you did have the lumpia wrappers, they come frozen because they do come from the Philippines. I get them in the frozen section at Ta Lin in Albuquerque. They have a green label and they say lumpia on them. They're very different from Chinese wrappers. We are not Chinese. Filipinos our heritage is actually Chinese and Spanish, but Filipinos are very proudly Filipino. We have our own special wrappers. So we do not use your regular wrappers that other people use for like spring rolls and what have you. We use lumpia wrappers, Lumpia. So you would take a little bit of the ingredients, and maybe I'll do another video on this. I have some images of it somewhere in my phone, but you would put it inside this wrapper. They're kind of hard to peel apart. You have to be real careful, and then yeah, maybe this is for another whole entire conversation now that I'm talking about it because it's way much bigger. You have to actually wet a rag and lay it over the top because it's so dry. There's too much to it. Basically, I have to do another video for if I were to ever fill the lumpia. But I do use egg on the sides to seal it and wrap it up. And I do them in parcels of 10 and I put them in the freezer and we would have them for, I'd love to say weeks, but our family literally like eats them so quickly. Lumpia wrapper rice. It's not made of rice. Lumpia wrappers are made of flour, water, and salt. They're not rice wrappers, but I am making rice I'm making the insides of my mom's lumpias because I don't have the wrapper. And we have some lettuce, so we're doing lettuce wraps and rice and lumpia, insides of lumpia. All right, so let's take a look at this and then I'll let you guys go. This is what it's looking like. You can see the carrots are sweating, and so they're kind of on par to be done soon. This is where I add in my can of tomatoes. Oh, that's cool. And I mix it in for really yummy flavoring. Not a lot of Filipinos add tomatoes to the inside of their lumpia, but I do. And for this, especially over rice, it's great to have like the juice, you know? Hi, Paige. Thanks for joining. Sorry about the lighting in the background. It's, again, I should get one of those things, you know, like, what are those lights called? I see them on Instagram. They have like those social media lights, and then I could do this. Maybe I'd look a little more professional. All right, so I'm going to let that mix in. And so right now I'm going to add the beef. And it's about that, I don't know how to say how much it is. I would say that's a pound with some onions in there. It's already pre-cooked. And I'm going to put that straight into the pan. My fridge is so cold that I almost got worried that it froze again. I was like, wait a minute, did it freeze again? Because remember we talked about that. Don't double freeze, guys. Ring light. Michelle, should I get one of those? I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this. I don't know how much I can handle the insults. No, I really can. It's kind of funny. It wasn't really an insult. It was just suggestion. It was all good. All right. So I'm mixing in the meat. The fire is on high. I just threw a carrot out of... You know what you guys are doing for me when I do this? This is the greatest gift because you're actually keeping me accountable, and you're like me. I cleaned my stove because I knew we were going to do this from the other day. So it's kind of good. You guys are like keeping me on point here. Thank you so much. Italian style with tomatoes. I guess, see, that's the Italian thing. But I love things that are juicy, especially if you're going to put them on rice. It's like, you know, you don't want it to be super dry. At least I don't. I like it to have some type of juice at the bottom, and then you pour it on the rice and it's got all this flavor. And then when you go to reheat it, it just has so much lushness to it. So I really like that. In regards to seasonings, you guys, really it's garlic powder, salt and pepper, but I thought I had a refill for my pepper and I don't. I don't add, this is where the difference is in regards to Italian, Cynthia. If I went ahead and I added oregano and rosemary or thyme or any basil, then it would switch to a totally different flavoring, and that's not what I'll do here. You could add sesame oil, you could add ponzu sauce, you could, do things like that. For me, I just keep it literally garlic, salt, pepper. I did add that bone broth, the chicken bone broth, for a little bit of flavoring. It's salt-free chicken bone broth, so that's kind of cool because then I know how much to salt it myself. Yeah, so let me think. Okay, so over here, I don't think I'm missing. Oh, look, I forgot about the chickpeas, the garbanzo beans. So this is kind of what my mom used to do. Oh, I'm going to share this with you a little bit. My mom, we would make lumpia like at Christmas or Easter, pretty much. And you would sit down. This is a freaking 2-day process. This is not like if you're making lumpia and you're in a Filipino family, you're dedicated, man. You're like in for the long haul, and it's a whole process. And everybody's sitting down together talking and trying to get the best lighting because that light's bugging me. So we would sit around, and the garbanzo beans, my hands are clean in case anybody wants to comment on my hands. But the garbanzo beans come with the skin, and you can peel the skin right off it. I love the taste of the skin. It's not an issue for me. And when we were little, because we were so poor, my mom really wanted every bit of ingredients to go the longest way possible. And so she would have me split the garbanzo beans. And when you roll them in the lumpia, you would put like one half of a chickpea at one end and one at the other. Now that I'm able to provide and really enjoy this, I just pour the whole can in. I don't take the time to get the skin off. But when we were kids, my mom would sit around and my mom would just, it was like my mom was working so much, she had like 3 jobs. And we rarely had a lot of time together. So when the holidays came, it was so awesome because we would spend this time together making, lumpia and sitting and talking. And my uncles would come from the Philippines. My one uncle, he was an archbishop, and he really loved Lowenbrau. And he would just, who drinks Lowenbrau? It's so funny. You never hear that. He loves Lowenbrau. I like my Stellas. And we'd sit around and play mahjong and make lumpia, and he would be drinking. He smoked Camel cigarettes. He quit when he was older, but he smoked Camel cigarettes, drank Lowenbrau, played mahjong, and our little apartment was filled with all these people and all this food. And it was, it was crazy to have all that energy in our house as kids because I was so little. And I'll tell you more about that. I have a sister that died when I was 9 years old and she was 5. So that changed the trajectory of our entire lives. She was the baby of the family and kind of just shifted everything. So anywho, I put that lid back inside there so that no one gets their legs cut. And right now, sipping some beer. I want to show you what this is looking like so you can see how pretty it looks. All the colors are so gorgeous, and I'm going to add the tin of garbanzo beans. I did strain them, but I don't mind a little bit of the juice in there. And I am now, this is plenty of meat. My husband was like, that's not going to be enough meat. This is plenty. So that is definitely looking like 1 pound. I can kind of tell just by the how it's pushing up to the where it's at in this pan. If it was 2 pounds or 1.5 pounds, it would not really fit so well. So I'm just going to let that cook down. I'm not really going to put a lid on it. I might add a little bit more broth to it to keep it juicy. And then when Bo gets back, all I do is I add the raisins, and I literally, God, I'm so bad with measuring. I'm sorry, you guys. I just sprinkle them in on top, and I shut the fire off, and I don't even actually cook them because they get kind of really plump. It doesn't matter if you do cook them. It's not going to hurt. But I just put the raisins in, and then it's so good. And so what I'll do is when we're done here, I will post a picture of what it all kind of looks like. Yeah, raisins, Cynthia. You wouldn't think so, but it is something my mother did. And yeah, not many people do it this way. It's really unique. And it is going to be absolutely scrumptious. I know it because I've made it before. I just added a little bit more broth. You could add a little bit more soy sauce. This is where I'm at right now. You could kind of see the juices on the side, just trying to get it to kind of cook down a tiny bit. And then you can add soy sauce to taste or whatever you like. I'm going to lower the fire, give it some love. Alrighty, any questions? Anything you guys want to know that I did not address? Oh, coconut milk. You know what? I love coconut milk. I have a tin of coconut milk, but my mother would not appreciate me doing coconut milk in this. I wasn't actually going to even slice the vegetables that nicely, but I sliced them in honor of my mom because I thought, man, she's watching from above, and if she sees that I'm dissing on the lumpia, she's going to be mad. No, I'm just kidding. No, not coconut milk. The other day I made pancit, which is another Filipino dish with noodles, and I did add coconut milk to that. My family never would have added coconut milk to that, but I thought it would be real nourishing right now, nourishing to the immune system and really super helpful. So I did add coconut milk then, but I wouldn't add it to this dish because it's super traditional. It's like a family thing for me. I just wouldn't want to change it. So, and even the pancit, I added the coconut milk. It's really funny. Bo took it over to a friend's house. This is a couple days ago or about a week ago. And she's Filipino as well. And she's like, oh my gosh, my family never did coconut in their pancit. And I was like, neither did I. I just did that for funsies. So you can get creative and make it your own. Absolutely. Yeah, so, oh, thanks, Cynthia. I just am being myself, and this is what we do, and I just try really hard to help you guys out with some unique recipes at home. Bo just drove up, so I'm probably going to go because it's going to get loud and crazy in here once the little one gets in here. But I'm thinking the onion bhaji competition will happen over the weekend. I'm not entirely sure when. And I do want to do my mom's chicken adobo, which is like divine, so lush. Thanks for the hearts. I love the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No hot tastes, no hot flashes. It's all good right now. I haven't had a hot flash for at least an hour. So what else? Yeah, I think that's kind of it, you guys. I'm going to just enjoy this evening with my family. I'm going to try and get back at all the stuff I lost on my project and rewrite all of it. It was a lot. I'm really bummed, but I have a lot of it in my head. So I think I can make it happen. And I gotta go. Bye.